All right, Kyle, before we get to our next and very special guest, FanFest is coming up February 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. It's free admission. You get to meet the players. It's a lot of fun, and I know that we're going to be chatting at the Biscayne Bay Brew Hall. We've got a show to do. We're going to have multiple players on, maybe a couple of coaches. It's always a good time, Kyle, and actually it's a pretty good segue because our next guest, which I hope you know by now, will be there in attendance, and I'm sure is very excited. No, Kyle Seeloff.
Yes, very, very much so. I won't spoil it. You can bring them on here in just a moment. But yes, please make sure you come out to Lone Depot Park next Saturday. Go to marlins.com/fanfest. And just keep in mind, it's totally free. Parking is free. A majority, I would imagine, unless there's any hiccups or holdups, of the entire 40-man roster. And then even some of the Marlins prospects will be out there, Steven. So make sure everybody swings by the Biscayne Bay Brew Hall to see you, to see us. I'll be in and out a little bit, man. But I'm pumped up about it. It's back on a Saturday for 4 hours. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's always my favorite time of the year. I tell all these guys, this is the stress-free time of year. They want nothing to do with us when spring training and the regular season rolls around.
Literally,
So you got to get them while you can, man. You got to get them while they're happy. So there you go. Now you can bring on our guests.
Can I get a little drum roll? We should have had a little drum roll here. Ready for our visual audience. Boom! There he is. Joining the program now is an individual who was called up on July 2nd of 2024. He made it impossible to not have him in the lineup. Posted a 328 batting average in 70 games, hit for the cycle, and collected 3 triples in a game for the first time since 2014. It's Xavier Edwards, and X steps into the box. What's up, my man? How you doing? Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
What pumps you up about FanFest?
Usually the kids. The kids are great. They bring a lot of good energy. They're just happy to be there. And it's just a really fun time for us as players to take pictures, feed them wiffle balls, see what the kids' swings are looking like, kind of play around, have a lighthearted day, and really just enjoy and embrace the fans.
Before we get into the baseball, you've had a busy offseason personally, but let's start with your the camps. I know that you did a myriad of different things this offseason. Just what did you do, and how was that experience?
Baseball camp wise, I had my own camp a few days before Christmas. Great turnout. A lot of happy kids. Ended up walking away with some baseball gifts before Christmas, so that's always good to hand out some stuff and hear a lot of positive feedback that the kids really had fun and enjoyed the camp. So 7th year of my camp, my baseball camp, my free skills camp at my old high school. Helped out Jesus at his camp a few weeks ago. Played in Lewis Brinson's celebrity softball game a few weeks ago, and then Tristan McKenzie had his kids camp this past week. So yeah, a lot of kids camps, but it's great to have the freedom to be able to give a Saturday morning and help out some kids, teach them the game, add to their knowledge of the game, and just kind of pass down our love for the game to them.
X, this sounds like a guy then, Steven. You don't even need spring training. You've been doing all these camps. You ready to roll right into this thing, X?
Well, the kids are doing most of the swinging and ground balls at camp. I'm the one throwing them, so I still need my work too.
At the ripe age of 25, did you ever attend any Marlins fan fests growing up?
No fan fest for me. I was usually running around at some tournament or practicing with my dad. That's usually what our weekends consisted of me growing up.
But I ask you that because, and we chat about it a lot, man. It's so cool to see you guys out there. You are heroes to some of these young kids. Do you remember a time when you were little and you were in their shoes? And is it surreal to you now that you're the one as a big leaguer dishing out these autographs to these kids, X?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a surreal feeling, like you said. Just to be able to give back and to see a look on their face, when they ask to take a picture with you or for you to sign their ball, how much it makes their day. It really just puts it into perspective. Like, people pay money to come watch us play, to play a game that we've all been playing from such a young age. And now we get to, put smiles on people's faces from all across the world when they spend their money to come watch us play. So, yeah, we're blessed. I'm extremely fortunate, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to do what I do.
So let's dive into your last 2 years here, X. We saw you in 2023. You came up late in the season. You guys win 84 games, get to the postseason. The following year, the Marlins signed Tim Anderson. They go with him for the first half. You come up. You bat 328, whatever it was. You have a great season. Now this year, you're going into the offseason for probably the first time knowing maybe your fate as a big leaguer. You know you're going to be on the big team. You know you're probably going to be a starter. What's the offseason been like from you from a mental perspective, trying to experience and grow in 2025?
Just not trying to look too deep into it. I'm treating it the same as I would treat any other spring training. I'm coming in to prepare myself for the season. I'm looking forward to, first opening day. I'm really excited about that opportunity. But besides that, on the baseball side, I'm treating it the same. I'm going about my work the same way. I'm just looking forward to kind of getting our team together. I'm building some camaraderie before the year. A lot of new faces, but a lot of returning faces as well. I'm just get the guys together and get around each other and just enjoy our time. But make the most of our opportunity. A lot of us are young guys. We have a great opportunity in front of us, and an opportunity that we haven't had in our career. So I think we're all looking to jump at the opportunity that we have and just enjoy it. So that's really it for me. I'm just trying to take it day by day, treat it the same way as I would treat it any other year. Just getting myself ready for the season, and this year will just be in a different place.
So we are recording here on January 27th. Are you up in Jupiter? What is kind of your day? Let's just go through your day here this afternoon. Are you in Jupiter? Are you working? Who are you working with?
Yeah, I actually just got back from Jupiter a few minutes ago. That's why I had to push this back a bit. But I was there this morning.
Good excuse.
I've been going a few times a week. There's a few guys up there. I met De Los Santos today. I met Agustin Ramirez today. Max Acosta's been up there hitting with me a bunch. Simpson, Bender, Fortes are up there. Brack's rehabbing. So Yuri's up there rehabbing. So there's a good bit of guys that have been in and out. Liam Hicks, I met him a few weeks back. So a lot of guys have been trickling in and out. So it's been good to kind of get some early access to some of the new guys and not just have to wait till spring to meet some of the guys and get around them. So it's been good. A lot of fun.
X, the big thing for you going into 2025, you're about to play a full big league season. What do you start to get into a mental mindset even early? Because you don't really know, the grind, but you've never put your body out there for 150, 155 games. How have you prepared for that aspect of things going into your first full big league season?
Yeah, great question. I've been really trying to stay on top of my nutrition. I'm talking with some of the guys up there in Jupe now, and just trying to stay on top of my nutrition, make sure I'm hydrating, make sure I'm eating enough food to make it through the season, keeping the right amount of muscle on, working with our new strength staff. Just keep muscle throughout the year. Kind of tailoring our lifts to, maybe doing them a little later, maybe doing post-game instead of pre-game, just to make sure that the body's feeling good for the game, and use that as like a catapult for our recovery for the next day. So we've been devising plans already for this upcoming season, and I'm looking forward to it finally getting underway. We're getting close. We're all itching for it, but definitely just nutrition, I would say, is a big part of it, as well as sleep and hydration. All that stuff is crucial. Preparation and the baseball stuff kind of takes care of itself.
Man, it's amazing, too, because for so many young guys that play this game, they go through a lot of trials and tribulations early. A lot of guys get sent back to the minor leagues because it was hard to get their feet wet in the big leagues, and they look forward to the next opportunity. Dude, through 100 games, you're a 321 hitter. How the heck have you made it look so easy?
I could assure you it hasn't been easy. It might look easy, but it's not easy at all. A lot of work goes into it. But just try to trust the process, trust myself, my instincts, and my game plan, playing my brand of baseball. I think that's what's gotten me to this point, and I think that's what's going to keep me on the same course, is playing my brand of baseball, try to treat it the same way I did in the minors and all of those before that. Just one game at a time. Whoever it is that we're facing, regardless of the name on their back or the name on the front, they got to throw the ball over the plate, and I know if they throw it over the plate, I can hit it. So I'm just trying to treat it as such, treat it as the same game that I've always played, and that makes it a bit easier to execute at the level that I'm familiar with and I know I'm capable of.
X, you had mentioned the new staff in 2025. Just what are some of your takeaways early on? I don't know how many times you've met with Clayton McCullough. I know he lives up in Jupiter as well, but just some early, interactions and takeaways just with your relationship with him so far.
It's been great. He's passed with flying colors. Great dude, great family. His son was actually at Tristan McKenzie's camp the other day, so I was rolling ground balls to this kid. He's like, "Hey, He's like, hey, you play for the Marlins? I was like, yeah, I play for the Marlins. He's like, oh, my dad's the new manager. I was like, oh, yeah, I know your dad pretty well. Met your dad a few times now, but I haven't met you. Nice to meet you. So I got to, spend some time with him and at the station. So that was always fun. But yeah, I mean, everyone's been great. And a lot of good people, first and foremost. A lot of hungry people. People are getting opportunity they didn't have or coming from a place, now here at a new place in Miami. So people are excited for the opportunity. And, I think we have a chance to have something special here. And this is kind of the first step in it. So a lot of great people. I'm looking forward to pouring into us and that's all we can ask for as players, the people that believe in us, important to us. So really excited for it.
And speaking of doing something special, Stephen and I have had an opportunity to chat with your new manager, Clayton, and virtually now every member of the coaching staff. Man, they are all so energized and hungry to teach and watch you guys grow and to be servants to every one of you to make you guys better on a daily basis. Look, there's going to be a lot of people that doubt this team because you're all so young goodness. Stephen, 5 arbitration eligible guys and whatever. Brax isn't even playing this year because he's hurt, but it just goes to show how young this team is, man. Do you often or do you ever chat with the guys about, man, we're going to have a lot of people that doubt us, but, sooner rather than later, this is going to be a special group because we're going to, within reason, do it together here.
Yeah, we've talked about it for sure. I think we all kind of can get a sense of it. I read an article that said we have maybe one guy over the age of 30, and I think it's Bender, and he was like barely 30. That was just pretty funny for us young guys. But we're all excited. We're all hungry, like I said earlier. This is, for some of us, it would be our first opening days. For some of us, it would be our first, big league season. Some people, it would be their first time getting called up. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of just openings for us as a team. And where there's openings, I think there's growth. I think it gives a lot of us a chance to kind of grow as a team. This young core, hopefully we can stay together for a while and down the road, we can really do something extremely special. But right now, I think I feel like we're playing with house money. We're a young group. I think we're going to play fast. We're going to be athletic. We're going to play hard, and people are counting us out. So that's almost the beautiful thing is we have nothing to lose. People are going to be counting us out against these other teams, and the fact of the matter is, it's only going to come down to what happens between the lines. So they can count us out before the game, but after the game, they say, "Oh, well, they just strode into Miami and lost 2 out of 3 to this team that wasn't supposed to be this or that." So I look at it as a chip on our shoulder, and I think it'll be an easy chip for all of us to carry into the season. Being so young.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, X. Just got a couple more baseball things, and then I'd love to talk about some off-the-field stuff. But just, I'm thinking about last year, and I'd mentioned in the open, the cycle, the 3 triples. I mean, you hit 328. Just what would you pinpoint to just all the success that you had last year? What did you feel like clicked for you, particularly last season?
I would say the mental side of the game is crucial. I don't think it gets talked about enough, but the mental side of this game is almost everything, especially when it comes to hitting. If you're mentally not in it, you're not going to succeed. So I'm just working on my mental game, trying to stay mentally tough and, approaching every at-bat and every pitch as a new opportunity, not carrying one bad at-bat or one at-bat that didn't go my way to the next at-bat because I know that the next one I have an opportunity to do and execute at the level I'm capable of. So I would say that's a big part. Make an error, you bounce back, and you have to want the next ground ball because it's going to come your way, and it's up to you if you're going to compound on the error or if you're going to make the play that you're supposed to make. So I would say mentally, it was just staying in it. Staying a part of the long season. The year started with me getting hurt. I bounced back from a crazy injury that I had, and to come back and have the year end the way it did, it's a blessing from God. But mental toughness for sure is something that I can attest to.
You were sniffing that infield single, weren't you, on that cycle? You knew it as soon as it came off the bat.
I was thinking about it for innings, man, because I've never hit a cycle in my life prior to the one in Milwaukee. And like the 7th inning, I hit the triple. I think it's top of the 6th or top of the 7th. I was like, okay, if this guy gets on, we get 2 more guys up. I should be able to hit in the 9th inning with an out or 2. So I'll have a crack at this thing. And sure enough, I don't know why in my head it just kept playing when we were on defense and just playing. I was like, I feel like I'm going to get a 2-strike hit. I'm going to get a 2-strike hit. And I was like, all right, I guess we'll see when I go up there. Sure enough, I fouled off 2 pitches I should have hit. Off Devin, I fouled off 2 pitches I should have hit. I'm like, why on earth I'm thinking I need to get a 2-strike hit? I'm like, all right, I think he's going to come with the changeup here. I fouled off some fastballs. I know he loves the changeup. one of the best changemen in baseball. He's got to throw me it here. Got enough bat on it, got it away from Willie enough, and yeah, head down and sniffing it. And luckily, I got there. So pretty surreal experience.
When you walk to the batter's box with that opportunity, I mean, obviously you have a plan, but given those circumstances, are you thinking to yourself, at the very least, I have to just put the bat on the ball. The last thing I can do, given this chance, is strike out? Or do you very much compose yourself and go up there with your normal plan? Or did it change a little bit in that at bat?
No, it didn't change. I went in with my normal approach. Luckily for me, I'm not a huge power guy, so I hit a bunch of singles already. So I was like, man, this would stink if I had all this power today and I fell short of the single, which I usually hit most of the time. So I kind of felt right at home. I was like, okay, perfect. Like I'm right where I want to be. It's not like I'm a homer shy of the cycle and I'm like, all right, I got to swing out of my shoes this last at bat. It's like, all right, I'm a single shy. Like I can treat this at bat like I would any other and spray a ball somewhere and hit a single. I'm like, okay, like I should be fine. And then the people on deck, that's why we try to say like we're locked in during the whole game and laser focused. Like and I am, but on deck I remember being on deck and swinging. The guy had gotten out in front of me and he's like, "Come on, Edwards, you're a single shy. We want to watch history." And I'm just thinking, I'm like trying to block out the noise, but like I can hear that like clear as day. I'm walking up to the plate, trying to compose myself and just lock in for that bat. So it's funny, kind of the behind the scenes stuff that happens, but definitely I was trying to treat it as much of a normalized bat as I could.
Where's the ball?
My mom has it.
Oh, your mom has it.
Yeah, I moved into a new house, so my mom has all the cool stuff there because I know she'll keep it in a safe spot.
That's awesome.
I was waiting to hear your dog was running around with it this morning or something.
Yeah, he gave a look like he's like, "Oh my God, where's that ball?"
That's a good question.
You kind of just made me think of it. I've got the jersey. I've got the cycle jersey actually right here. I got to frame it, but it's just sitting on my filing cabinet right here. But the ball, I'm pretty sure, is that my mom's got it, or it's in a box somewhere.
No problem. We'll find it one day.
Xavier, just defensively, I know that there's been some questions about shortstop. Just we saw glimpses of it last season. What's been the primary focus this offseason to try to harness or improve in that area of your game?
Really, it's been my arm for me. People may not know, but I've had shoulder issues for the past 3 years. I had impingement 3 years ago when I was with the Rays. And it's kind of been lingering, every offseason it's gotten a little bit better and then I'll have some kind of setback. It hasn't been enough to keep me out of playing, but it's been enough that it's been bothersome that something I have to try to stay on top of throughout the season. So that's kind of been lingering. With this offseason, I jumped straight into a throwing program that I got from Driveline. Max Garrett, one of our catching coach, I believe, on the minor league side. And then Brandon
now
Mann,
on the big league coaching staff.
Right. And then Brandon Mann, also on our big league staff. I talked to Brandon at the end of this past season, thinking about going out there to do some kind of throwing thing. He's okay, well, I'll link you up with Max. We both worked at Driveline. He wrote a lot of the programs. Like he knows a program. He could give you something like remote so you don't have to go all the way out there. So, all right, perfect. So I got in contact with Max like first week of the off season. He wrote me up a program. And I've been doing it now for almost probably 2.5 months now. So the earliest I've ever been throwing in an off season, like I've been throwing since pretty much November, like the beginning of November. And that's the earliest I've started. My shoulder feels great. My arm feels great. I feel like I've had it tick up. I can throw with good volume and good intent and not feel like I don't want to pick up a ball afterwards. Feel like I can go and keep throwing. So that's been a big plus for me. So it's really just been shoulder health, honestly, as much as arm strength. But I think arm strength comes with shoulder health. If you don't have a healthy shoulder, then the arm strength's not going to be there either. So I think that's kind of what I was dealing with the last few years. So now I've been on top of my stuff, plyo balls, bands, all the nuances of it. But a detailed throwing program for a shorter answer, a detailed throwing program has been the key for me because I know I have the footwork to do it. It's just focusing on attacking the ball, kind of getting the second base mindset out of me now that I'm playing short. So I know that I can attack the ball, so I'm more comfortable attacking the ball. And me playing the 70 games I played at short this past year, I feel like is a test to that. I think it got better over time, especially on the footwork aspect. So yeah, arm strength has been the big thing that I've been trying to tackle, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job of it. I've got some feedback from the people that I've thrown with, and they seem to like the progress I've made. So I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick with the program, keep the volume up and intensity up, and I'm looking forward to showing what I can do this year.
Sorry if I missed you just saying this, X. Surgery or no surgery on that shoulder?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had any surgery in my life. Not gonna lie.
Wow.
Don't want to have
Keep
any.
it that way.
And
Okay, so I have a very not odd question, but I was digging into some of your splits. Okay. And I saw, oh, he hits 300 against lefties, 341 against righties. Sign me up. This guy's on my team. There was one that really stuck out to me, and I wanted to ask you about this. You hit 213 at home versus lefties. Is there something about Lone Depot Park that do you not see the ball well from the right side or something? I just saw that, X. I saw all these 300s, and I was like, that's a bizarre thing that really stuck out to me that I wanted to ask you about.
no, I wouldn't say it was individualized to Low Depot. I feel like I was kind of battling with some right-handed things this past year, some ideas. Just trying to get comfortable in the box. There's times that I didn't feel that comfortable in the box right-handed this past year. So it was just kind of me tweaking, kind of figure out how I could have sustained success against pitchers other than sinker ballers, guys that do four seamers, or against breaking balls. So that was really what it was. I just didn't really feel like I got going right-handed. Honestly, this past year, I don't know what I hit right. I don't really look at my splits or anything. But it was really just me trying to get comfortable right-handed, which I didn't really feel like I did. I feel like I got pretty comfortable left-handed, and that showed. Right-handed, I kind of felt like I was trying to find it for most of my time up in the big leagues this past year. So yeah, I've been back in the lab this offseason trying to tweak stuff and fine-tune it so that I can kind of show the right-handed hitter that I really am.
By the way, your idea of finding it, you hit 300 against lefties, X. So God bless you, man. If that's your idea of finding it in the big leagues, hitting 300 versus lefties, man.
It's tough. I mean, being a switch hitter is a blessing as well as an added thing to my workload. Trying to manage two swings and manage one swing more on one day when you face righties more, or manage the righty swing more the next day when you face a string of lefties. So it's added work, but I signed up for it.
I hope this isn't a wild question, but let's say you're really swinging it well from the right side, okay? And a pitcher has reverse splits, and he's a righty. Would you dare just bat righty?
No.
Why?
Well, first, I've never seen a right on right slider before, curveball. No idea what that's like at all. I hit left on left my first season, actually, when I got drafted, because I had a wrist issue coming out of high school. So it was like you can rehab for a month or whatever, or you can just hit lefty. So okay, well, I want to play, so I just hit lefty.
Sure.
Back into rookie ball, and then all of short season, the rest of the year, I only hit lefty. So I actually have a little bit of experience of it left-handed, but right-handed I have none whatsoever.
I guess my question would have been if there was an advantage for you. Like if you felt more comfortable hitting against lefties and this guy had a reverse splits and he was a lefty, do we do this? And I don't know, maybe it's a wild thought. It probably is the way you're looking at it.
It's not that wild.
Okay.
It's not that wild. I can't say the thought hasn't crossed my mind. It's just I would never actually do it.
Sure.
The thoughts crossed my mind, but I would never do it. I would just shot. And honestly, it has nothing to do with the pitcher. And more has to do with me and how I'm feeling. But yeah, no. I don't care if the guy has reverse splits, better splits. I could care less. If he throws it over the plate, I can hit it. So it doesn't matter what his splits are. The splits they're gonna have to be against somebody else, because I want to be the one to get hit off them.
X, you're 25 years old. Mentioned you've played 100 big league games and you're about to embark on your first full big league season. How much do you want to be a leader? As the shortstop, those guys are expected to be leaders. Is that a part of your game that I think about? Because I'm just curious if that's something that you've worked on or however you improve upon that. But there is an expectation as the shortstop that position, that person is generally the captain of the team.
Right. Yeah, I've definitely given some thought. I haven't really talked to a bunch of people about it or anything, but I've given it some thought. I definitely want to have a little more vocal of a role this year and just talk to guys, at least on the infield, just kind of where their plan is, or being vocal between pitches, or what we're trying to do. I think on that aspect, I'm not an overly vocal guy. You guys know me pretty well, and some people that don't, I'm not overly vocal. I'm probably not going to be giving too many speeches in front of the clubhouse or anything like that. But yeah, I definitely want to try to be more vocal, especially among the infielders, and try to lead us in the right direction. Because defense is a lot of fun, and I think when you play clean baseball, it's really great to be a part of a clean, functioning infield that's flowing. It makes it not just a one-sided game where you're just looking forward to your at-bats, and defense you're kind of dreading. So, looking.
Oh no, Steven.
No,
Oh no.
not our first malfunction of the hot
Well,
stove.
hold on. Here we go. Let's pull away here. We can pull away, and when he comes back, we'll bring him right back on.
What do we think? Do we think the phone died? What do we think? I don't think he doesn't seem like a guy that doesn't know what his percentage is.
That could be a software update. That could be an impromptu software update that got him.
No way. Not a crash on the phone.
But if he doesn't get back to us, I mean, that was a fabulous
That was
interview.
enough. It's so funny, Kyle. I was going to say, I was like, we asked for 15, 20 minutes.
There he is.
There he is. Okay,
back,
his
Steven.
return.
Beautiful.
He's gone. Folks, for our audio-only audience, we just saw Xavier Edwards in our waiting room. We added him to the stream, and as soon as that happened, it looked like he either signed off or maybe he'll try to rejoin. I hope he has the same link.
It's the same.
If he hits the link, it's going to be
There
all
he
right.
is.
Hold on. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is.
Back.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah, I got a call. Dad just called me and it just jacked up the whole thing. I don't know.
Well, you're always welcome to take that call, Lex.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll call him back in a few minutes. Leader role. Yeah, for still there. I don't know if you guys jumped to something else.
No.
We were guessing what happened. Kyle said system update. I said that your phone died.
Yeah, no, phone call. I didn't know
right.
phone call jacked up this whole thing, but it sure does.
Hey, I only have one more, Steven, on the baseball front. I've always admired about professional athletes. You guys are your hardest critic. You're your own worst critic. And whenever I ask guys, what have you been working on in the off season? Generally, it's a pretty broad. I'm working on everything. But is there something in particular after the season, offensively, defensively, base running, whatever it was, you were like, it's not going to happen again. It wasn't awful, but maybe people won't notice it, but I'm going to be exponentially better in this little tiny aspect of my game next year. Anything like that for you?
For an exponential growth standpoint, I would say it was the arm. Arm was something that I thought about, and I really wanted to be a noticeable difference. Not just for myself. Like, obviously, I want to have a functioning shoulder that's healthy and pain-free when I throw a baseball.
Sure.
That's not fun when it's not.
Sure.
But yeah, I wanted that to be like, I don't want there to be questions like, oh, can he play shortstop? Because I played short my whole life, and I've gotten away from it the last few years in the minor leagues because of the teams I've been on and whatever the case was. But now I'm back. I've got a taste of it for the last 70 games, and I don't plan on handing it back. So getting more comfortable playing short again and remembering why I loved playing short so much. And now I've been back over there, and I don't plan on giving it back. So I would say that's the main thing. And then offensively, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in the world. So fine tuning that and staying on top of that is its own task. But I would say the arm for sure.
It's an awesome attitude to have.
I got one baseball, and then I'm going to try to slip in a personal, and then you're off. You're off and running. Okay, I'm going to try to connect the dots here. Second in baseball after July 1st this season, stolen bases with 31. You only trailed Ohtani. Clayton McCullough obviously worked with Ohtani. Ohtani gives him a ton of credit on how he was able to get to 50-50. Mookie Betts has also applauded him as well. You're a great base stealer. Clayton McCullough obviously has some great success in this area as well. How do you sort of see yourself next year? I mean, do you have a number in mind? How excited are you for that part of your game?
Very, very. I thought the same thing when we got Clay. He was first base coach with Ohtani. He stole a bunch of bases this year. I stole some at a good clip this past year. So it seemed like a good match for me. So I'm looking forward to getting to work with him. And Smar's a first base coach now. I'm looking forward to getting to work with those two on the base running side and see just how many I can get this year with the full year under my belt. So I got a number. I won't disclose it, but I've got a number in my head.
I saw the
Some of the
smirk.
guys
I
know
like
it.
the smirk.
I like
You,
the
Some of the
you
guys
gave a
know
little
it.
smirk when
That
Steven
smirk
asked
is
you how much.
60.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I actually just did some run stuff running today. So I'll probably do a little film work after this and watch some of the running stuff. But I know I'm really excited to work with Clay and Smars and I get this thing rolling because I think we're gonna have a fast team. I think we're gonna run a bunch. I think we're gonna surprise some people. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it there.
Perfect.
Okay. We did this last year. We did engagement story time. We did one with Braxton Garrett. I forget who we did before. I think Ryan Weathers. You're up. Congratulations. Tell us the story.
Okay, story time. Story time. I had a planned trip to the Cayman Islands through my agency. My agent, his nephew, I believe, lives in the Caymans, and he had a connection with Cayman Island baseball. So I don't know what you guys know of the Cayman Islands, but it's a pretty small island. Like I think
I don't
at
get
its
out of
widest.
Miramar, Xavier. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not.
Well, the Cayman Islands. Well, put it this way, just to give you some perspective. The Cayman Islands at its widest point is 8 miles wide. That's at its widest point. So I think you could get. They said you could get around the island in like an hour driving from one end to the other, like an hour. That pretty much puts you in perspective. It's probably not a bunch of baseball complexes there. I think there's only one. Not a whole lot of baseball being played there. So we went there with the intention of helping growing baseball, give these guys some instruction, kind of like a kids camp, clinic, a few days, pitching, hitting, ground balls, same kind of thing that I've been doing this offseason, but over there. So I went with my agent, and I told him that I planned on proposing to my now fiance when we were there. I'm on the beach, something pretty light, pretty simple, or so I thought. So I was gonna, we were gonna go for a walk before one of the events that we had on the beach. She loves the beach. I like to go to the beach with her. Go for a walk. My parents will kind of lag behind a bit so they can see it. I'll have a photographer somewhere and pop I'll pop the question and then, we'll go to the event after. We'll take pictures, call family, everything, the whole nine. So it got to the day, went to the kids camp in the morning, got back to the hotel. I told her I'm usually not the most punctual person. I'm usually running a little bit behind. Hence today I had to push this back a few minutes. So I'm usually running like a little, not like egregiously behind, but just like a little bit, like maybe
Cuban time.
five.
It's
Right,
perfect for Miami.
give me like a little 5-10 minute cushion, a little grace period. So I got back from the field, and it's around probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I get into the hotel room. I tell him like, "Hey, you think we go for the walk at 4 o'clock?" And like I'm thinking like four, like punctual, because I have my agent and the photographer like they're putting out flowers on the beach at like
Oh my gosh.
3:45, like 3:50, and they're gonna like stand behind these bushes so that they can take pictures when we get to the spot. Because I couldn't like dip out and like set it all up because she would notice. So they set it up for me, and they're waiting, and I'm trying to be mindful. Like I don't want them standing behind this bush on the beach for 45 minutes because like I'm running late or she's running late. So I'm thinking like, okay, like I actually have to be punctual. Like other people are affected by this. Like I don't want them to spend the whole afternoon baking in the sun waiting for me to ask her. So like, yeah, like you think we go for a walk at 4 o'clock? And she's like, yeah, I think I can be ready by 4. And she kind of runs in a similar timeline as me, like a little bit, not egregiously late, but a little bit late. So we got ready. It was about 4:05. My parents met us downstairs. They were gonna go on the walk with us, but they were gonna lag behind. Obviously, my fiance didn't know that. So I hug my mom. She gives me the ring because we thought my fiance would find the ring if I had it in my possessions. She handed it to me. I have it in this little bag, almost like a headphone bag, because we didn't want her to notice the box if I had it in my pocket, 'cause she would notice. So put in a little headphone bag, kind of mess with it, unzip it a little bit. We go on the walk. We start going. The first half of the walk, I'm on my phone like the whole time. She's talking to me. I'm on my phone the whole time because I'm trying to like coordinate like which side of the beach they're on so I can go. She asked me, she's like, "Oh, are we gonna go left or right?" I'm like, I'm checking my phone. We're gonna go left because that's where they put the bouquet of flowers down, some rose petals, and that's where they're starting. We're gonna go left. Okay. So we're going. I'm looking. So my agent, I planted like a bouquet of flowers on the ground, and that was kind of like the checkpoint. once I saw the flowers, I knew I was going the right direction. I knew like that was where I was going to ask, because the bush right by the flowers is where they were standing behind, so that we could take pictures. I'm like, okay. So we're walking, holding our shoes. We don't want to get our shoes dirty. Holding hands, talking. I see the flowers probably 200 feet out. So like I kind of start getting nervous because I didn't plan like a speech. I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So like, we've been together for a little over 5 years now. Like I'm just gonna do it from the heart. Like I'm not gonna write up something beforehand to, you know, confess my love. Like I know how much I love you. I know how I feel about you. I'm gonna just do it from the heart and say what's on my mind when the time comes. So we get 200 feet out, and I mean, you want to talk about nervous? Like way more nervous than like I was being a single shy, like way more nervous than my debut. I mean, just like borderline frightened. I'm just like, what on earth am I gonna say here? Like we're approaching, we're walking. I have to try to act normal because we're holding hands, but like I'm thinking like what's about to happen in the next minute, and I got to figure out what I'm gonna say. So we're going. I have my hand in my pocket, kind of making sure the bag's there. We get closer, we get to the point, and I throw my shoes down. I reach in my pocket again, and I don't feel the bag in my pocket.
No.
So I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I dropped the ring. But obviously she doesn't know. Like she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't, I don't think she even really put two and two together about the flowers. She's probably just thinking there's a bouquet of flowers. She's probably not thinking anything. I reach in my pocket, I'm like, oh my gosh, not there. So I turn around and I just say, hold on. Like I don't really tell her where I'm going. I just say, hold on. She's like talking to me. I'm like, all right, hold on. And I just turn around and kind of like just speed walk back, like retrace our steps to find like this bag, this pink little headphone bag, because the ring's in there. About probably like 100 feet behind us, I'm looking, I find it. And I come back. And then I get on a knee and ask her, some tears and stuff. And she says yes. And then we take the pictures. And then the photographer shows us the pictures afterward. And she's like, yeah, I almost like came out too early. I saw you get to the checkpoint, so I was starting to peek out of the bushes to take the pictures. And then I see you just turn around and I didn't hear you say anything. So I almost came out and I was worried she was going to see me. So I ducked back. And yeah, that's kind of
Wow.
our engagement story. I dropped the ring, found it, asked her, and now we have a pretty good engagement story for the rest of our life.
If I may
don't
ask
even know
one
this
follow-up
part.
there, the 100 feet you had to walk backwards, did that feel like a lifetime to find that bag?
Stressed. I'm walking. I'm like, man, it's on it's a beach, sandy. It's a pink bag, so you can kind of see it, but the sand. There's people walking. Like, I'm like, man, I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I lose it, like honestly, I don't know what I would have done. Like, I don't know if I would have just jumped in the water and like just said, let's go
Just
for a
kept
swim.
going like one of those.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would have done if I couldn't find it. I'd be like, yeah, I was gonna propose, but I lost the ring, so like maybe let's do it again next week at home or something. I don't know. I don't even know what I would have did. I really don't. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm so glad I found it. That I was like, okay, like now it's a good story. It went from a nightmare to a really good story that we can look back on and laugh about.
Wow. Dude, congratulations. I don't even know what to say on so many fronts. I was thinking like it would be funny to find the picture of you running. Then you can like mess with her and be like, yeah, I had second thoughts and I was running the other way, but that's not as funny. You found the ring, which I'm sure was pretty expensive.
That made it made it easy for me to flow into find the words to say after that, because I was like,
You
oh my
weren't
gosh.
thinking at that
I thought
point.
I thought I lost him. Okay, I found it. I'm good now. Like now we roll.
Wow, that is phenomenal. A+, congratulations. I wish you the best of luck, and that is tough to top, my man. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you guys.
You always have a grace period on Marlins radio, Xavier. You always got a 15-minute window, brother.
Thank you. I
bless you.
appreciate that.
Thank you for the time, X. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me on, guys.